You ready, Lisa?
Are you ready, Monica?
I'm having an issue because I'm starting to look like my mom. And it's not an issue because my mama fine. Okay? But like, at what point in your life do you realize that you really look like your parents and you are turning into your parent? Right, Lisa? Look, you took her clothes and stuff from the house. Turning into her. Thank you.
People been calling me Little Lisa forever, though.
Little
I've
Lisa.
always looked.
And you're so chocolate and cute. Y'all got that same small little head too, but y'all forehead's big. Greetings, Earthlings. We are back.
After a long sabbatical.
Are we already hitting with the vocab words? Okay.
I've been reading,
After a long hiatus. That's all I got. We are back with a new, fresh episode. And we are back full time. We own it. Don't do my smack for me. Don't do it. Because I wasn't even.
Anticipating.
I'm going to start smacking less. It's a part of just how I talk these days. So we're back. We have missed you guys. We have missed recording. So I have all the feels. We're going to try to stay on topic. And then like the flashes in my glasses. But that's just maybe next episode I'll record without glasses. But yeah. Anything you want to say to the people?
No.
Umboku, Mother Earth, Mother. You just Badu.
No, just I'm happy to be here.
Blessings unto you. You stupid. Along your life journey. Speaking of life journey,
what a note at before we start off topic.
So we're starting a 3-part series. Where we're talking about, this is mid-life crisis, because hey,
25 to 30 is hard.
And like, you don't know that until you about 24 and a half.
And it's like, wait a minute, this when it was supposed to be easy, I've like got a job, I live by myself, maybe.
Right. You like the real adult that at 18 you thought you were, but you wasn't about nothing. And now you 24 and a half, about to step into 25. And it's a whole new game.
Yeah.
And how old is you now? Like 26?
I'm 25.
But you be turning 26. It's the same thing. And so we've just learned some things that we are struggling. And we need help.
We need help.
She needs some milk. Okay, so on this first episode today, we are talking about personal midlife crisis. Like, so your midlife crisis is just related to your personal life, which a couple of things, reflection, and I need to just have this on my phone because looking at my notebook, it's not working. Maybe it's the millennial in me that feels like I should have like this, and it's like, who reads paper?
We need like a little teleprompter.
And why you writing?
Right.
Like, we don't write, you type stuff. Yeah, we need like a little stand that go, but then we'll be looking at that and we won't be looking up. And we cute, so we got to look at ourselves. Okay, so first, reflection. This is all you because I really liked how the arriving at the finish line of the wrong race.
So we, during the hiatus, just, living life, experiencing things. And for me, independence has been very important to me. So it's like, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to live by myself, do all the things. And I've done all the things. And it was just one day I was like, you've done these things and you're just not satisfied.
And not fulfilled.
Not fulfilled, not happy, not overall unhappy, but just in that aspect, just not as happy as you know you could be. There's more happiness out there for you to arrive at and you just haven't. And for me, I just put so much emphasis on, I'm going to be on this path. I went to college. I got 2 degrees. I got a job. I make good money. And I just
have nothing.
It just doesn't.
This means nothing.
Yeah.
And this is all an illusion. And not downing college or anything. That's just the way, that's the route that we took.
Right.
So you cannot go to college and still end up in this place of not being ultimately where you want to be. And what's weird is that you know that you're not going to be there at 25, but at 25, you just feel kind of lifeless.
But then you're looking at your life and saying, if I keep going in the way that I'm going, I'm going to be more unhappy. Like this, looking back at the track record, and if I can project to the future, this is not what I want. And that is kind of the reflective period that I've come to of just, what is it going to take for me to be happy? Right. What do I need to do to get there? Yeah, pull up the notes.
And then you kind of feel that... Run, Forrest, run. And then you kind of feel cheated because it's
you've done things you said I was supposed to do.
And now you have money, right? Like, because you make good money. You have
on trips.
Right. You got a popping social life. Okay, honey, you got friends like us. Like, your social life is fine, man.
Brunches, lunches.
Little Lisa. And so, movies.
Hanging at.
Painting. Vision boards. I mean, like, you're doing like all of these good life things
on paper.
And you're so unhappy. Yeah, you said this. Yeah, so in real time, so are you genuinely happy with where your life is in real time and not just on paper? And we've come to that conclusion that we're not in a lot of ways that matter.
Right. You post on social media, and I think social media just has such an impact
on it's a hoax.
As people, because you just see what everybody else is doing. You feel like you should be doing those things. You do those things, and it's still just not enough. Like, you still just feel like I'm doing the things, but I just, like, there's a hole in the bottom of your cup, and you just pour it into it, and it's just all coming out of the bottom, and you still don't have nothing to drink.
Right. And then I think you create this faux pas emotion of you should be grateful because of where you are. So then you start stuffing really those unfulfillment feelings inside, because if you bring them out, it's like, well, a lot of people would love to be in your position. Well, how would it be to be 25 and you got, 2 degrees and you make this amount of money and you got these people that love you? And so then you're like, okay, maybe there, and not saying there's not truth to that, but then you take all that in and you still push aside like your true feelings of you just want more, and not necessarily more with job or profession.
And not more money necessarily.
Right, because we identify real hard with where you work.
Yeah. And your purpose being fulfilled with where you work, and just, am I doing purposeful work? And I think that's not just an us thing. I think that is a millennial thing, because we want to be needed. And we want to feel like what we are doing is contributing to a greater good. And so when we are spinning the wheel, we're doing the work, and it's like, this doesn't matter.
Right.
And that I feel like is when you come to the reflective period of, I'm putting all this work and I'm pouring all of myself into this, and it doesn't even matter.
Right. And then you get to the burnout, which brings us to the midlife crisis, like the quarter life crisis. That's a real thing.
It's a nobody real thing. Is talking about.
No one is.
We need to write a book.
Well, because now all the people that felt it at our age, they're all old, and they're just like, well, that's the rite of passage. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. And it's like, no. And I think as millennials, we take our time so seriously. It's like, oh, you gonna pay me, and you gonna bring up that I gave you some time.
Right.
And if it was free, you gonna pay me in other ways. It's gonna be a bartering system. And so I think like, I give you time, you give me tea.
As myself.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
for sure.
As a millennial, it's like,
you're
going to pay me for my time, but you're also going to pay me to be me. I'm not showing up, being nobody else, doing nobody else.
I'm going to have purple hair.
What you see is what you get. That is, we're getting off on a tangent.
Oh, we are, because I'm starting to work my neck and pop my tongue. So I'm ready to pull up. Okay. So that brings us, when you said something about purpose, that guides us into really what we're talking about. Like, on a personal level, we are finding our purpose. Ivy and I did have the pleasure of doing this little, this church event called the Chazon experience, that is Hebrew for, I have not remember what it's Hebrew for, but it's related to finding your purpose. Yes. And so
I think the verse that Pastor Craig used, the people who have no vision have no sight. So it's really finding out what God's vision for your life is.
And so we've taken action to go in search of that. And it sounds great when you're like just talking to people, and it's like, well, go find yourself and go rediscover yourself. And for us, it's like, were you 18? We went to college and we discovered ourselves, our college selves.
Yeah. And then you went to college again.
And rediscovered your grad self. Yeah.
Papers and,
your post-grad. Yeah. And then you got like that career job. discovered yourself in your big girl job again. And now you're like kind of settled, and it's like, and now you got to discover yourself again.
And it's like, you remember that girl that you was like 6 months ago? That's not
you ain't her no more. And she don't even like you.
And you don't like her either.
And her lips was crusty, and now they not.
My lips ain't never been crusty.
They've never, but the girl 6 months ago.
My 6 months ago self was still moisturized. I've been a butterball since the womb.
And you been slipping and sliding. Hey, in the bathtub with the oils. Hey, word. Okay, so I'm not gonna have this tablet next time because I hate it. Hate's a strong word. I dislike it. So go find yourself. So you cannot control what has happened to you, but you can control what you do after. That goes along when we were talking about finding our purpose, that it's like our life experiences are what if, and I think I wrote that down too. Oh, so you've been given tools from past experiences that have shaped you. What are you doing with them? And this is a part of that purposeful finding, the chazon.
Chaztown, as I said, because my brother's name is Chaz, and I just made it Chaztown.
And it's spelled CHAZOWN. And you literally put a T before the O and said
Chaztown.
That's like how, I should silence my phone. That's like how you people say salmon.
Not us people, because there's no L in my...
Espresso, and it's like... I'm sorry. Finding my purpose.
But there was something a part of the Kazon is just using your past experiences and your God-given gifts to really find what your purpose is. And I think for me, to speak on a personal level, I ignored all of that. And it was like, head down in the book, do the work, get the job, do the job. And it just is like, but what gifts are you using?
Right.
What are you doing to contribute to anything? And it's like, well, that doesn't matter. The gifts that I have, I just, use them and do stuff for my family, whatever. But when I'm at work, I'm a separate person. And I started to feel that separation of my true self and who I was at work. And it's like, that's supposed to be one person. You're supposed to be using those gifts, those talents, those previous experience, and pouring that into your job. It's not supposed to be two separate people, because then it doesn't align. Right.
And then it just brings more disconnection with yourself too.
Division within yourself.
What was it? Division. You better go on, Baku. And so something that I've started doing that has really helped is reading. Both of us, we've been reading a lot, a lot. And not just, is it fiction is the fake?
Non-fiction is not fake. So fiction is fake. Yes.
Non-fictional books. We did go to school, but non-fictional books we've been reading, and just like self-improvement books, books related to finding God and getting a deeper relationship with Him is something that we've become really, really passionate about.
Churchy is really.
Oh, you better. Hey, hey, on camera. Yeah. And so going to church and really leaning onto your friends and telling them like, hey, I'm lost. You actually find out that your friends are just lost too.
We are just lost in the sauce. Like, when you used to eat soup and you get the little letters and they just swirling around, you try to
you're really trying to catch them letters and it slide. Don't blow too hard and the letter blow off the spoon. That is us. We are trying to chase the O and it's not coming. It's a no. What are other things? Oh, we've gotten into our bodies. And as far as like diet, it's weird because diet has a lot more to do with food, but actually what we're feeding ourselves. And so we focused on our diets. We focused on the things that we're taking in, the messages that we're taking in.
What you're listening to.
What we're listening to, podcasts. Of course, talking to our mentor who we wouldn't even be closer than most. That's not even the lyrics of that song, and that's a love song, so we're not going to sing it right now. So we wouldn't even be close to where we are without just her help and guidance as well. So when we say take action, we're talking about actual physical things you can do to dive into yourself. And to know that that's going to uproot some things. You're going to have to unlearn.
Stir up some stuff.
Yeah. Flip of the wrist or whatever.
Oh, just because, I love a good analogy. Like when you're cooking something and stuff gets stuck at the bottom and you leave it there. I But then when you go back to stir it and you got to get that stuff off.
You got to scrape that grit.
You do it.
See, I said I wasn't going to be smacking that much. You got to scrape that grit.
Yeah, you start stirring up some stuff at the bottom.
Right.
So when
that's really good.
Was that a good analogy?
That was, boop. That was a ducket. That was cute.
But you just start stirring up some stuff, some things. It's like, well, why am I like this? Why do I do this? You know, and really having those conversations to get to the bottom of who you are and why you do what you do.
And you find out that this pot of gumbo, that's why your gumbo trash, because the grit that's stuck at the bottom of the pot and you go scraping it and then it infuses your whole pot. So
I ain't never had nothing stuck at the bottom of my pot.
Well, you know my first pot of gumbo I burned because the stuff stuck at the bottom. But my second one, you know, just a little ras dance. Look at little Lisa texting us. Okay, so then you can't be mad that you have to start over this new pot of gumbo because you put so much time, you put so much work. All the ingredients, these are quality ingredients, right? These are ingredients that make a really good pot of gumbo. But why did your gumbo burn? Like, why at the bottom and then you go to scraping? Just scratch the whole thing and start over and feel sad. I think that kind of just a little ducket.
Oh, yeah, because we said we wasn't going to do that.
We said we weren't going to do it, like go
dip into other issues. It's fine.
Okay. So can I dip?
Yeah.
Do I got too much dip on my chip or can I eat it? Why we using food analogies? I don't know how we got here. But, so you have to kind of be pissed a little bit and mourn that pot of gumbo that you burned, but know what kind of things do you need to change going into the new pot that makes the pot a success. And then you share that amongst people and then you know that you did a good job. I mean.
And I think the most fulfilling part, especially for me, is just having those conversations of like, you know, epiphany. Just
epiphanetical.
You know, so I learned this about myself, and I don't like it very much. Or, you know, seeking that knowledge.
Or like, people tell you about it.
Yeah, and it's like, that I don't do that. And
it's like, since when you ain't like me, you pop off on you and cuss you out, call you ugly.
Since when you had a problem
Since
with
when
that.
you...
Right. Your face is getting cut out. Back
is
up.
it?
Yes.
Oh. That's Jesus when you get that epiphany. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Oh.
Was that the last tip? We need to wrap this up.
That was it. Okay, yeah. Okay, well.
Thank y'all for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. We're happy to be back.
Very happy.
We are just epiphany on a new path, and we just want to share what we're going through. Maybe it'll help somebody. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just be us watching ourselves.
And either way, we don't care because we're cute.
But a good book that I could recommend that I have read is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. She just talks about vulnerability and shame resilience.
What's your favorite word?
Wholeheartedness.
Wholeheartedness.
And so that is what I'm genuinely trying to do as I dig into myself and try to discover new things about myself, is being wholehearted and showing up to every situation, every conversation as a wholehearted person and allowing myself to be vulnerable. And I think that's what this podcast is for us. It's us allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and share that. So we thank you so much for watching.
Well, what book are you reading right
now? Relational Intelligence by Dr. Dharius. And I can't think of his last name.
It's your pastor?
No, he was a guest pastor at the church.
Oh, okay,
okay.
Okay.
Darius, I cannot think of the last name. I will put it in the thing. And that just is really talking about how you are some of the people that you hang around. Is really what it talks about. And you know what you need from people. You need mentors, acquaintances, friends. Like, you need all of those people, and all those people play a role in your life. And I think for me, especially because I have just, independence has been my word of life for so long, and now it's like you need people, and you have to figure out how people can operate in your life and how people can feed into you and build you. And so that's where I'm at, and I'm gonna wrap it up, because if not, I will get churchy. Hey, but thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed it and hope that you got something from it. Please like, share, subscribe.
Remember,
tell your mama them.
Tell your mama them. We
tell
there.
Your mama them.
Like 4 flats in the Cadillac, laid back, cataract.
Alrighty, so thank you so much, and remember, you can be happy without everything going your way.
Man.